Hi, Dave Jeffers here, founder and president of Alethea Group, LLC, author of Understanding Evangelicals, The Guide to Jesus Land, and also I'm the proprietor at saltandlightblog.com, and I refer to that blog because I'm going to have you go read something I wrote this morning. And it was in reference to an email I sent out to my blog list, and I posted this question on my social sites at Twitter and Facebook. And the question was, when you read this, what comes to mind? And what I had written was, or what I had quoted was, when it comes to social issues, the party must indeed, be inclusive and welcoming. If we are not, we will limit our ability to attract young voters and others, including many women who agree with us on some but not all issues. I got quite a few responses on all my sites, but that came from the report known as the autopsy report that the Republican Party, the Republican National Committee, released this week, and that Reince Priebus, the Republican National Committee chairman, referred to in his National Press Club speech on Monday. And I read that, and there's some stuff in there that's really good, but that part came down about messaging. And people think we have a problem with messaging, and somewhat we do. What we need is for someone to come out and explain why conservative values are, to put the words of one writer, they're colorblind. We can address all the issues and all the ills of our society by just teaching people what conservative ideas are. And so here's a speech I would have loved for Mr. Priebus to have given, or I would love to hear any Republican who claims to be a conservative. I would love to hear this speech given, and I'm going to give it to you here. It's not real long, so please stick with me. This is a statement of who Republicans are and what we believe as a party and our vision for a stronger and freer America. The pursuit of opportunity has defined America from our very beginning. This is a land of opportunity. The American dream is a dream of equal opportunity for all, and the Republican Party is the party of opportunity. Today, that American dream is at risk. Our nation faces unprecedented uncertainty with great fiscal and economic challenges, and under the current administration has suffered through the longest and most severe economic downturn since the Great Depression. Many Americans have experienced the burden of lost jobs, lost homes, and lost hopes. Our middle class has felt that burden most acutely. Meanwhile, the federal government has expanded its size and scope, its borrowing and spending, its debt and deficit. Federalism is threatened and liberty retreats. For the world, this has been 4 years of lost American leadership that depends upon economic vitality and peace through strength. Put simply, the times call for trustworthy leadership and honest talk about the challenges we face. Our nation and our people cannot afford the status quo. We must begin anew with profound challenges in the way government operates, the way it budgets, taxes, and regulates. Jefferson's vision of a wise and frugal government must be restored. Providence has put us at the fork in the road. We must answer the question, if not us, who? If not now, when? That is the choice facing the American people. Every voter will be asked to choose between the chronic high unemployment and the unsustainable debt produced by a big government entitlement society, or a positive, optimistic view of an opportunity society where any American who works hard, dreams big, and follows the rules can achieve anything he or she wants. The American people possess vast reserves of courage and determination and the capacity to hear the truth and chart a strong course. They are eager for the opportunity to take on life's challenges and, through faith and hard work, transform the future for the better. They are the most generous people on earth, giving sacrificially of their time, talent, and treasure. Republicans affirm that America has always been a place of grand dreams and even grander realities, and so it will be again if we return government to its proper role, making it smaller and smarter. If we restructure government's most important domestic programs to avoid their fiscal collapse, if we keep taxation, litigation, and regulation to a minimum, if we celebrate success, entrepreneurship, and innovation, if we lift up the middle class, if we hand over to the next generation a legacy of growth and prosperity, rather than entitlements and indebtedness. That same commitment must be present here at home and abroad. We are a party that knows the difference between international acclaim and world leadership. We will lift the torch of freedom and democracy to inspire all those who would be free. As President Reagan issued the clarion call to tear down this wall, so must we always stand against tyranny and oppression. We will always support and cherish our men and women in uniform who defend our liberties with their lives. As we embark upon this critical mission, we are not without guidance. We possess an owner's manual, the Constitution of the United States, the greatest political document ever written. That sacred document shows us the path forward. Trust the people, limit government, respect federalism, guarantee opportunity, not outcomes, adhere to the rule of law, reaffirm that our rights come from God, are protected by government, and that the only just government is one that truly governs with the consent of the governed. The principles written in the Constitution are secured by the character of the American people. President George Washington said in his first inaugural address, "The propitious smiles of heaven can never be expected on a nation that disregards the eternal rules of order and right which heaven itself has ordained. Values matter and character counts." Republicans understand these great truths. We share a positive vision for America, a vision of America renewed and strong. We know America's best days lay ahead. It will take honest, results-oriented, conservative leadership to enact good policies for our people. We will provide it. We respectfully submit this to the American people. It is both a vision of where we are headed and an invitation to join us in that journey. It is about the great dreams and opportunities that have always been America and must remain the essence of America for generations to come. May God continue to shed his grace on the United States of America. Now that's a speech I wouldn't mind hearing. Some of you may be thinking, yeah, that sounds like something Ronald Reagan would have spoken about. Or maybe even Barry Goldwater way back in the 60s. No, let me be honest with you. What I did is change just a couple of words, a couple of pronouns. And that speech I just read from, that I just gave, is nothing more than the preamble of the Republican Party platform. Right now, as it exists, we have the right message. It's not just messaging. It's about how we govern. We can say we're conservative, but when we govern like rhinos, or worse yet, Democrat light, then you lose your base. We lost the election because we lost our base. Our base did not show up. Republican Party leaders, you must decide that are we who we say we are in this preamble that I just read from? Or are we going to wring our hands and send messages to different people groups, which is nonsense? That's a Democrat approach. That's what the pundits in Washington say. That's what the consultants say. That's what the ruling class say. Look, when you're getting cheers from the left for your document you just came out with, that should be a clue. We don't need to change our message. We need to speak the message that already exists, the truth about who we are as Republicans through what the Republican Party platform stands for, which represents conservatism. It represents federalism. It represents values that are based on biblical principles. When we do that, then we will have the message that people are willing to rally around. Thanks for listening. Please join us at thetruthwatch.org. And you can also friend me on Facebook. We also have a Facebook page there, Aletheia Group LLC. You can follow us on Twitter at Aletheia Truth. You can email me at dave@aletheia.group.org. Thanks so much for listening. Please tell your friends, your relatives, your associates and neighbors about the Truth Watch. And just spread the word, because we have a lot of work to do, America. And remember, bless God.